When you think of the Asian dragon, what comes to mind? Probably this majestic, powerful creature, right? Well, what if I told you its story doesn't start in the clouds, but way down on the ground, with something a lot more slithery? We're going to trace that whole incredible journey right from the beginning. So here's the big question right off the bat. Could this amazing, mythical beast really just come from, well, our fear of snakes? It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But, the real story is so much cooler and, yeah, way more complex than you'd expect. Okay, so before we can even talk about the dragon, we have to rewind, way back. We need to look at what came first. And that, my friends, was the sacred serpent, specifically a being they called the Nāga. So, in ancient India, snakes weren't just snakes. Not at all. They were seen as these incredibly powerful beings called Nāga. And look, we're not just talking about big snakes here. People literally worshipped them as divine guardians. They were the keepers of water, fertility, and even secret hidden knowledge. Pretty important stuff. And this wasn't just some small, local thing. No way. This idea was huge all across Asia. You see this deep reverence for serpents. In Nepal, they were rain gods. In Cambodia, symbols of royalty. Heck, in Indonesia, they believed a cosmic serpent literally held up the entire world. The point is, this was a massive, foundational belief for so many different cultures. Okay, and this is the part that I find absolutely fascinating. It's all about perspective. See, in a lot of Western stories, the serpent is the bad guy, right? A symbol of evil. But here, it's the complete opposite. They were sacred. They were protectors. That mystery and power they had didn't just inspire fear, it inspires some serious respect. And that is the absolute key to understanding where the dragon comes from. All right, so we have this respected real animal. How in the world does that morph into a mythical beast? Well, it's not a biological leap, it's a psychological one. This is a transformation that happens right inside the human imagination. The term for this is conceptual evolution. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's how an idea evolves. You start with something real, a snake. That snake becomes a powerful symbol. And then, over hundreds and hundreds of years of storytelling, that symbol gets bigger, bolder, and transforms into something completely new. In this case, a dragon. And you can literally see the steps, one by one. First, you've got the serpent, a real animal that's both feared and respected. Then, that respect turns it into a sacred symbol, a force of nature. Then, the storytellers take over, adding all these amazing traits and powers. And boom, the final step. You get the dragon, this supreme, supernatural being born from that perfect mix of reality and imagination. Just look at the comparison. The connection is so obvious, right? That long, scaly, coiling body, that's the heart and soul of the dragon's design, and it's pulled straight from the serpent. The dragon is basically a snake that's been, well, supercharged. It's been given a mythical upgrade with claws, horns, and sometimes even wings. The blueprint was right there in nature all along. Okay, so now we get how the myth was born, but the next part of the story is where it went. Because this idea didn't just sit still, it went on an epic journey right across the continent. So how did it travel? Well, the main vehicle for this whole idea was Buddhism. As Buddhism spread out from India, it took the Nāga concept along for the ride, making them protectors of the Buddha himself. Then, when it got to China, this powerful serpent idea fused with local legends, and that's how the iconic Chinese dragon was born. From there, both Buddhism and the dragon made their way to Japan, and that's where things got really interesting. And this is where the story takes a major turn. Because when the dragon arrives in Japan, it doesn't just get a new home. Its entire meaning, its whole purpose in the culture, is about to get a complete makeover. Let's break this down. In China, the dragon was the ultimate symbol of the emperor's power. It was a heavenly ruler representing cosmic authority. But look what happens when it gets to Japan. It sheds that political role. It's no longer about the emperor. It becomes a spiritual guardian, a god of the water, ruling the seas and rivers, not the heavens. Even the art changes. It goes from this majestic, balanced style in China to something way more fierce and dramatic in Japan. And this quote really nails it. Japan kept the look of the dragon, that powerful serpentine form was too good to change, but they completely redefined its job. It went from being a symbol of the emperor's power to being a guardian of nature and a protector of temples. Same body, totally different soul. So, when you look at this whole incredible journey, you realize something really important about myths. They're not finished stories. They're not just carved in stone. They're living legends, constantly changing as they move through the world. Honestly, the story of the Asian dragon is maybe the best example of this. It's not some dusty old relic. It's a living, breathing story. It absorbed new meanings. It took on new jobs with every single culture it touched. And it just goes to show you, the greatest stories are the ones that never, ever stop evolving. And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. We've just watched a snake become a guardian, then an emperor, then a god, all over thousands of years. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are the big, powerful stories we tell ourselves today? What are our symbols? And how will the people of the future look back and see how they've been transformed? What will they become?